Okay, welcome to our deal of the week. We've got a couple of great houses. We're going to do two videos this week. The first house is going to be in Disston Heights. But before we get started, remember this: if you're out there looking to buy a house, we are definitely in a buyer's market right now. I'm not saying that all sellers are desperate, but they're willing to deal. So let's go through our four rules for buying in a buyer's market. Number one, if a house has been on the market 45 days, I mean, you're going to go in 5% under asking. You need to send a reality check out to these sellers who are thinking that prices are still from a couple of years ago. Number two, try to stick with established neighborhoods to the extent that your budget allows. It gives you more upside as the market firms up over the next couple of years. And if you have to sell, it makes it easier. Number three, stick with lower maintenance properties. Look in the descriptions for things like newer roof, AC, electrical panels. We want to avoid any insurance issues, keep the costs down. And number four, look for broad appeal features in case you have to sell. That means, things like a 3-bedroom, 2-bath as opposed to a 2-bedroom, 1-bath, to the extent that your budget allows, obviously. So let's get right into this first house here. And it is in the Disston Heights neighborhood, which is one of my favorite neighborhoods. So there's some interesting things about this house that I'm not sure make it, sort of a slam dunk deal. But let's look at the location first. As you know, if you've watched my other videos, Disston Heights is one of my favorite neighborhoods because A, the proximity to downtown, and also B, because this tends to be the least floody part of St. Pete. Obviously you're by the water over here. This is downtown. A lot of these neighborhoods, Snell Isle, Shore Acres, Coquina Key, great views, wonderful neighborhoods, but you got to factor in flood insurance for a lot of the houses there. And then obviously when you get way out to the west side, you get the same thing. So this little box here in the center of St. Pete is pretty solid. You can get good deals, and by and large, you're going to be out of a flood zone situation here. So that's, fantastic. So let's jump into the pictures real quick here. This one is at 5200 7th Avenue. It's a 2,234 square foot house priced at $340 per square foot. This is new construction for $340 a square foot. Is it still a little high? I don't know, but for a few years we were seeing 400 plus per square foot on new construction. So maybe we've got a deal here. So let's just jump into the pictures. The first thing that you're going to notice here on this first picture is a sort of complete lack of landscaping. This is a $759,000 house. There's not even there's a kind of a sad little palm tree here. There's a couple ways to look at this. The curb appeal is not fantastic, right? I mean, the house is modern. It looks like it's really very well designed, but the yard is half dead. There's one kind of sad tree here and a little bunch of palmettos over here. But this is what you're looking for, because a lot of people are going to just go right by this house because they don't like the way that it looks. So, don't overlook houses that maybe the curb appeal is not great, but just with a few improvements, it would make it look much nicer. So, a couple hundred or maybe $1,000 worth of landscaping here, I think would change the whole look of the front of this house. So it's a kind of a 2-story modern. Now it is in a neighborhood with a lot of smaller houses, so it kind of breaks our rule of buying the worst house in the best neighborhood. This is a good neighborhood, but does it support a $750,000 house? That's what remains to be seen. So you can see giant downstairs. I mean, big open living area with the sort of kitchen all the way in the back there. The trendy gray look and some, wood here on the front. Some nice little touches here. Nothing spectacular about this house so far, other than its new construction. It's not overly designed. Everything's brand new here, so no complaints. You either like the style or you don't. It's a guest bath. This is a really, really nice bathroom. This is honestly a style that I'm not sure that I'm crazy about. I'm seeing it more and more, and that is the bathtub is inside with the shower. I mean, I don't know. What do you think? Make a comment on that, because for me, the jury's still out on it. It seems like it's out of place. I know it's being done a lot, but it's within the same kind of, you can take a shower, and I don't know if you're taking a bath after that. I don't know. Is it weird? It seems a little weird to me, but it's kind of on trend right now. And if it's your thing, it's your thing. Uh, and here's another thing that seems unfinished to me. If you can see here, this is like a rolled roof deck. In other words, it's not tile. It's not. I don't know that you could put any furniture out here right now. I think this would need to be finished. And then, let's be honest, this is unfortunately this part of St. Pete. If you're sitting on your beautiful second story deck, you're kind of looking at this, which is, I'm going to argue not great. The power lines are right there. That's the problem when it's in the front of the house and the power lines run into the front of the house. So, I'm seeing some things here that I'm not crazy about. A couple of things that are maybe got left out as this house was being finished. But the finishes inside look really nice. The bathrooms, look pretty high end to me. I mean, I'm not sure what they're trying to show us here other than the washer and dryer hookup. Big 2-car garage. Not much of a yard, but certainly enough to, put a patio set out there if you wanted. And this is the side yard. So it is on a corner lot, so you come around. Obviously, you park in the back, so you've got really. I guess that what we're looking at here is all side yard. That's not the backyard. And I suppose you could run the fence all the way down here if you wanted to. So, beautiful house, new construction, relatively cheap. And you can see from the aerial view here, we've got mostly the smaller sort of 2-1, maybe 700, 800, 900 square foot houses. Some have been added onto. So you are going to be one of the bigger houses in this immediate neighborhood, which is not always a rule that you want to follow. And what we're looking at here, obviously, is these price drops that are, kind of pretty big. So this house just went on the market really a few weeks ago at $799. Already dropped it $40,000. So we went from $358 a square foot down to $340 per square foot. So I don't know. This one, I picked it because I thought this is a lot of square footage for the money, and it's new construction, and it's kind of a cool looking modern house if that's your style. But going through it a second and a third time, now I'm kind of on the fence about this, because if we look at the price per square foot at $340, that doesn't sound that bad, but you're still talking about a $760,000 house in a neighborhood that I would venture a guess in the immediate streets around you, you're probably not going to find anything more than 500. So you're going to have one of the most expensive houses in the neighborhood. Now, over time, a lot of these smaller houses are probably going to get torn down, and this is the type of house that's going to get built. So if your time horizon is a little bit longer, I wouldn't worry too much about that. The neighborhood is plenty established. I don't think there's any issue there. I just think that you might be a little big for the neighborhood. Obviously, this is going to be a low maintenance house. Everything is brand new. And I think it's got broad appeal features in the sense that it's a 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath. I mean, so you really can't go wrong there with a full 2-car garage. It's just a matter of whether or not sort of this modern style fits in with this neighborhood enough to attract future buyers if, in fact, you needed to sell the house at some point. So it's interesting. It's an interesting house. I like it. It's sort of a bold design. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I know $759 is on the upper end of what people are going to pay in this part of Disston Heights. So let me know your thoughts. I am a real estate agent here in St. Petersburg, Florida. If you are thinking about buying or selling, shoot me a text, send me an email, give me a call. I would love to help you out. And that is our deal of the week for this week. And I'll see you next time.